Welcome to the SNEC and TaiyangNews Leadership Conversations 2024. My name is Michael Schmela. I'm the Managing Director of TaiyangNews, all about solar. And we have together with us today Guoqiang Xing, CTO of the PV business of Tongwei. Tongwei, a leading player for years in the silicon and in the cell manufacturing field, has done a big journey becoming a fully integrated company. I want to have today the time and talk to Guoqiang about R&D and what has happened and how Tongwei has progressed. Guoqiang, welcome.
Yeah, Michael, nice to meet you.
Good meeting you. Since you are heading technologies and at Tongwei, and you've been doing that for decades at many leading silicon and other solar industry players. So let's talk a little bit about the big picture and recent developments. So when you look at what has happened, and a lot has happened in the solar industry. Huh? So you've been there for decades, and the last few years it was like going in this direction. So what did you see most in silicon, wafer, and module development? So we talked 12 months ago. So what are the most memorable developments in the last 12 months?
Yeah, Michael, you are right. I think 2023, a lot has happened, right? I think if you are talking about material silicon, wafer, cell and modules, it has to be N-type, and N-type, right? So right now for polysilicon, you have two categories at least, okay, for quality. One is P-type, one is N-type. Because the N-type silicon is used for pulling N-type wafer ingot, right? And the N-type wafers are also getting bigger in size and thinner. This is targeted for the N-type cells. I mean, you are talking about TOPCon and heterojunction. For cell and module, we are into N-type. We are into the 700 watt module regime. So this is really what is happening last year in the PV industry. So the N-type is coming.
So it's all about N-type. So, and of course that means also when we look at the cell, which is actually the core of the module, and in the end actually everything which drives costs down, it's about efficiency and yeah. So this and what were the most remarkable trends in cell R&D and cell manufacturing that was driving efficiency up and costs down?
Yeah, the big trends, right? TOPCon, right? I think the speed at which the TOPCon capacity increased probably is exceeded most people's expectation. So right now we are talking about 800, 900 gigawatt cell capacity of TOPCon alone. And most of those capacities were built in the last 18 months. So this is a big trend. And also wafer size, module size are being increased and standardized. Mm-hmm. I think last year in July, the top 9 Chinese module manufacturers, we sit together and talk about the module size, because you are, especially for the larger, for the utility scale module size, right? You have many varieties in the past. So we agreed that we are going to have one size for different wafer sizes. So, and then people are talking about 182 by 210 versus 191 by 210. But I think now it's converging, okay? We think in the future, I think at least in the next few years, the 210 by 210, the G12, and also the 182 by 210 or the G12R will be the mainstream wafer size. And associated with those two major wafer sizes, you are going to have the module sizes for different applications, utility, rooftop. I think the wafer and module size standardization is a big happening last year. Another trend, okay, I would say is less silver and silverless, right? So in TOPCon, the silver consumption rate dropped a lot. For the M10 sized wafer, for example, we used to consume like 120 milligram per cell, and now it's going to 80, right? But I think this is not enough. In the future, I think of PV will go into silverless, right? Because according to some publications, last year, our PV industry consumed 5,000 metric tons of silver.
And the silver price has started to go up.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's going to go higher if we're going to go into the terawatt regime, right? So TOPCon consumes more silver than PERC, right? And you are going to see the cell volume increase. So we think, I mean, the 5,000 tons of silver represent 1/3 of the global industrial usage of silver. So it's going to increase, right? So for Tongwei, we have been doing copper metallization for 2.5 years. So we are hoping, okay, to have a breakthrough for large-scale manufacturing in the near future. So I think N-type, wafer size, silverless, less silver are really the big trend in PV that is happening.
And when will we see copper-based solar cells? When do you think that will be available at a larger scale?
Yeah, as I told you, we have been doing copper interconnect metallization in 2021, right? And it's been 2.5 years. Before the show, we were talking about our global innovation R&D center. Last week, June the 6th, we came out our first copper interconnect HAT cell. Oh. We built a gigawatt pilot line at our R&D center. Okay. So we hope it won't take long.
Okay, great. You mentioned HJT. Tongwei was one of the early adopters of HJT technology, and I think probably the first one to have a gigawatt scale pilot plant, so at a very big scale. But when we look at your portfolio today, it's all TOPCon, so I think you're clearly focusing on TOPCon. So at what point you opted for TOPCon? Because I think probably when you were starting from PERC, you looked at both pathways, and what was the reason?
Yeah, so Michael, you are misleading me. Okay, you are right. Tongwei started the HJT R&D in early 2019. We actually had two pilot lines, one in Chengdu and one in Hefei.
Okay, sorry.
And so we are the early developers. And you are right, we are also the China's first gigawatt HJT production line. That's also in Hefei. So the Chengdu pilot line, we shut it down last year. And just 2 weeks ago, we shut down the Hefei R&D line. To replace that, we had this gigawatt state-of-the-art R&D line, gigawatt, right? And we utilized the latest technologies already demonstrated and to be demonstrated. So we hope the HJT will have a bigger market share with larger scale production. So this is Tongwei, what we have been doing. We never change. Okay, we want to do the R&D, do the pilot production of HJT. Our TOPCon development started in late 2020, but we adopted a different technology roadmap to deposit polysilicon. Okay, you can, the old mainstream was using LPCVD, higher temperature, using a lot of quartz tubes, right? This polysilicon deposition technique was used in semiconductor for decades, right? So that was the mainstream. But Tongwei started the PECVD roadmap, okay, technology. We used the very first, we were collaborating with SC, with Lead Macro, two of the bigger equipment manufacturers, doing the high temperature, the PECVD deposition at a lower temperature, not using quartz, right? So people were joking, okay, we have 900 gigawatts of TOPCon capacity. Without PECVD technology, right, we can only maybe have only half of that capacity because of the shortage of quartz tubes. So, so Tongwei is the very first company developing PECVD technology, and right now, according to some of the research companies, PECVD constituted 50% of all the existing TOPCon capacity. So, we started late, but we came up with a new technology, and now it's the majority of the market share.
Okay, just stay still about HJT. You said you are now moving to another generation, so shutting down the old pilot lines,
replacing it with bigger and newer ones.
Yeah, yes. Right. And so that means what role, or how's the roadmap now for HJT in your cell strategy? Yeah.
So we started last April. Okay, we want to build a state-of-the-art R&D center, global innovation R&D center in Chengdu for cell and module development. So we are not betting on one particular technology. Mm-hmm. We are actually doing all the major technology roadmap. So our R&D center are doing HJT, TOPCon, IBC, even perovskite silicon tandem. Mm-hmm. So we have hundreds of megawatt scaled pilot lines using the actual wafer size and using the almost production-ready equipment. Mm-hmm. Even for perovskite, we are using the 210 half-cut wafer sizes. Okay. So we started with large wafers. We are not. I mean, we are doing smaller wafers. I mean, for perovskite, but we want to do 210 G12. Yeah. And what about then the commercialization of HJT? Because in the end, there's still a cost gap between TOPCon and HJT. So I think people say, of course, that LCOE-wise, HJT is even better. At least some say that, but not on the cost side. So can you shine a little bit light on these developments from your side and how this influences your commercialization strategy? Yeah, this is really an old question, Michael. So we have been talking about this for many years, but I think we are learning. I'm learning. Right now, I think you have to focus on performance first, right? So our HJT technology, we target some 30 watts, the module power, okay? Module wattage at least 30 watts higher than TOPCon. Mm-hmm. And then you have this performance, then you try to reduce cost with new technologies and also with the scale, with the volume of the technology. I mean, you learn that from TOPCon. 2 years ago, when we were developing TOPCon, we are seeing with respect to PERC, for the cell conversion cost alone, you are seeing maybe 5 to 7 cents per watt, Chinese cents per watt, higher than PERC. But what happens when the whole industry goes into TOPCon? We see the wafer cost reduced. We see the cell conversion cost reduced a lot, right? So now the TOPCon from all the way from wafer to module, the vertical integrated cost is probably at the same dollar per watt as PERC. It may be even lower in the future than PERC.
Well, when do you see this inflection point? So because if you look at all these roadmaps from ITRPV and so on, so I think HJT will stay, of course, much smaller. And
HJT made a lot of progress last year. One is the wattage increase. I mean, we have seen that by ourselves because we made a lot of innovations in module technology. That's why we had this 652 watts record module for HJT. And also people are adapting silver-coated copper, right? The silver content is as less as 30%. So the best number we have seen is that if you use this kind of silver-coated copper paste, the pure silver usage can be reduced to as less as 4 milligrams per watt.
okay, well,
TOPCon right now is about 10, right? So then with our copper interconnect, we don't care about silver anymore. So if the silver price goes up, the advantage of our copper interconnect technology will be enhanced. So equipment, if you have a 10 gigawatt industry, or you have 100, 200 gigawatts of industrial volume, the equipment cost will come down. We learned that from TOPCon as well.
So that means we have now TOPCon fully established, coming much faster than everyone anticipated. Actually, PERC will be phased out almost like this. And what do you see in terms of improvement, innovation potential on the TOPCon side? So before something else, maybe HJT will make a similar development.
Yeah. Actually, I think TOPCon, this technology, I would say made a jump, okay, in technology advancement last year. I mean, we experienced almost a 1 percentage point of efficiency improvement last year for Tongwei and also probably for the whole industry. So the wafer size, I mean, for the latest new TOPCon capacities, you rarely see 180 or M10, right? It's either G12R or G12. So the bigger wafer comes with less cell conversion cost.
Sure.
We see that in PERC, right? M10, G12 cell conversion cost maybe 1 to 2 cents less than M10. Okay, but for TOPCon, this gap will be enlarged because of the special gases usage, the electricity consumption, etc. So TOPCon with bigger wafer size will reduce conversion cost, and also I like to characterize a technology. I like to use open circuit voltage (VOC), right? So VOC for TOPCon improved probably 15 to 20 milliwatts. It's huge. Now you're talking about 740 milliwatts of open circuit voltage for TOPCon. Before, it's like we started with 705, 710, 715, making small progresses, right? But now it's almost, it's approaching 710. I mean, in mass production, I'm talking about mass production, right? The silver usage we talked about, it reduced a lot, and so it's less cost, bigger wafer size, higher efficiency, higher VOC. All happened last year. So this actually made HAT a little bit harder. Okay, the entrance threshold for HAT going mass production also increased last year. But I think it stands a chance still.
Okay, so let's maybe move beyond the cell and the module. So what we've seen especially also last year, is that big companies really not only vertically integrated, either up or down, but they also moved horizontally. Yes. And so we saw companies going into batteries, not only doing the batteries system, but even the battery cells. So we have now solar companies producing battery cells. Yeah. So some companies do rackings, trackers, some even do electrolyzers. So what's Tongwei's strategy when we look at the bigger picture?
Yeah, let's talk about the industry first, right? I think I worked for a few PV companies. They all went through this vertical integration, right? So I think this is a trend, and also a character of this industry, right? Vertical integration gives you the cost advantage, gives you the supply chain security, right? But I think this is a new kind of vertical integration. If you look at the very top manufacturing companies right now, they are vertically integrated, but they have matching capacities in cell, in wafer and module. So this is a new kind of vertical integration. You are right. I think horizontal integration is also becomes trendy, right? You want to have systems to better serve your customer, right? You are talking about racks. You are talking about maybe even convert to inverters. Yeah, I mean, right now in PV, the market cap, the biggest, the highest market cap company now is in China is in electronics, right? So yeah, I think that will be a trend, and also PV will grow, and storage is a must, right? I mean, you see the duck curve first happening in California, in the US, but it's happening in China in many provinces, right? So storage is a must. I think for PV manufacturers, you have to do storage.
And
some kind of.
And yeah. This also means this also applies to Tongwei, that you are.
No, I'm talking about the industry, right? I mean, just personal opinion, but in Tongwei, we are following very closely with storage. Our chairman speak up many times publicly, right? And he has. We are looking into different storage technologies like hydro pumping, right? Like utilizing the electrical vehicles, vehicle to grid, right? So, yeah, sure. I mean, Tongwei, we're looking into horizontal and vertical integrations. Yes.
Maybe so. I think so. 2023 was a year of a lot of surprises, and I think so many things went so quickly technology-wise.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think? I don't know. At the end of the year, when you will look back at 2024, so what would be the most interesting development if you try to look into a crystal ball already now, technology-wise?
Yeah, we hope. Okay, we hope Tongwei will make some breakthrough. Okay, in copper interconnect in PV. Right. We are hoping that the HAT module, okay, will demonstrate 30 watt, some around 30 watt higher than TOPCon. And BC, I mean, BC for a special application, right? It will also have a chance. You are going to have it's O-N type, right? So you are going to have not only one technology, but multiple technologies taking on the main stage.
Okay, that's nice final word.
Yeah.
Thanks, Guoqiang.
Nice talking to you.